Hi, friend. It has been 3 long weeks. It is good to be here. It took me a second, more than a second, um, to get prepared just because I don't remember what all I did. So, hi, friend. It's good to see you. It is Tuesday, March 3rd, and this is the first of several monthly updates. As in, I'll be updating monthly for several months until graduation's done, and then I hope to get back to weekly updating. So it's been full, and I'll tell you about that real quickly. But I just want to tell you thank you for coming. Thank you for being here and watching and commenting, liking, all the things. I just appreciate you spending your precious time with me. Thank you. Thank you. And listening to me talk about cross stitch. I hope you have been well. I hope you've been warm or cool if you're in the southern hemisphere. It has been, since I've seen you, it's been pretty steady. I mean, I was looking to see, so the last video that I did, we had just come out of that really cold snap that we don't usually get. I say we don't usually, it's not an annual thing, but it seems to be like every 2 or 3 years we're now getting a colder snap. Anyway, so since I have seen you, we have put all of the things away that were for winter time and uncovered all the plants that I had covered for that 1 week and uncovered the AC unit because we were getting snow and ice and didn't want that to stick. What else did we do? I wrote down some things. Did that plant prep. We've had dentist appointments and other appointments. I've had done meals for several families just because we've had deaths or births or surgeries and things. My son just this last weekend ran the Cowtown Half Marathon, and that was good. He did really well. I had a lot of people. There were a lot of people, so they run. And just real quick, I enjoy running. I haven't been running lately. I'm going to pick it up here soon, but pick it up again soon. But I have never run with that many people. The races that I run are just tiny compared to this thing. This is in Fort Worth. It's Cowtown. It's a Boston qualifier. And he wasn't. It was just a half that he was running. But there were 8,000 participants in this run. So it was quite a lot. He said, I asked how he was doing. He said, it's like Disney because there's so many people. And there were. And, your adrenaline's high, all this stuff. Anyway, he did very well. And we got home Sunday evening or afternoon. And it was just good. It's just been full. The last several weeks have been full. And that's what I had mentioned in the last short video was that it was going to be full. And it will continue to be for the next month. But with all of that, I did get some stitching done. And I have an appreciation for monthly floss tubers now because I think I did monthly here. I think I did monthly floss tubes this time last year when we were going through our oldest son's graduation and wedding, and he didn't get married, but my niece's wedding and moving. So I went to monthly, and I had forgotten how much can happen, but also how much different stitching and how to keep it all organized. So it is just here. It is just here, and I'm going to go through it as it comes, except for the new starts. I do have 2 new starts. So here we go. All right. First new start. Oh, also, there was also Olympic stitching, and I did the nap time stitchers, stitched the Olympics. However, a lot of it was on one certain project. I used and I'll show you here shortly, I used a lot of the prompts for one of the ones that I'm trying to finish this year. So whenever I go through the prompts today, it won't be the Olympic prompts. It's going to be the I Spy prompts from Laura Stitchin by the Shore because there's multiples of the projects that I stitched. Words will come out. multiple projects that I stitched on her I Spy prompts. So that was fun. So I'm going to share those, not the Olympic stitching, even though I'll mention it. So new starts. And this was part of the Olympics. It was new start. I think it was day one of the Olympics, a new start or newest project. I started a new project from a chart that I had designed a couple of years ago, I guess, and I'm tweaking it. So it's a sampler, and it's just an easy sampler, but I didn't print out the full picture because I'm not sure that I'm happy with it all, but I am happy with this first part, so I wanted to show you this. It's on a 28 count even weave that I tea-dyed, I think. It's just a light dyeing, and this is my start. So these are just, there's going to be flowers all the way across and then the alphabet and then these little squiggles, and I'm working with color, but I really, the way the mock-up looked, it looked good. This is a two shades from this pink, and I don't know if you can tell. I don't have my, there it is. I don't have my board. I need to get that for next month. But this is the start of it. So there'll be these little flowers across, and then this alphabet, and then the little squiggles. And I have a large alphabet underneath with a birdhouse, and then a quote at the bottom. And I'm not sure that I may put something else in between, but that's the start. So you'll kind of see my progress as I go along on this. And if it turns out nice, it's just, I'm just going to have it for everybody. It's not going to be I'm not designing for dollars. I'm not, certainly not good enough for that, but this is for me. And so if you would like it eventually when it's done, then you can gladly take it. I'll have it for you. But I'm trying to stretch myself in that area. I haven't worked on it in a couple of weeks. I haven't worked on the designing part in a couple of weeks. Designers, boy, I know appreciation for them too, for y'all. If you're watching, if it's just, wow, to continually come up with ideas and good ones all the time. It's amazing. But then how do you have time to stitch? And you're designing, and I know people model stitch. I just like, wow. The creativity is just amazing. So I very much appreciate designers. This one is for my sanity. I wanted to remember a quote, and so I thought if I stitched it, I would remember it. And so that's where we're getting to. But anyway, that's this. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Anyway, that's the start. The other new start is from my not annual, this is the first year, so it's just this year so far. My goal this year is to start stitching continuously have some of the projects that I see in the flip throughs that I do, have them working and doing and get it done because I want to see them. They're beautiful. And so I went through, at the end of last year, I went through all of the flip throughs I had done previously. If you're new, I do magazine flip throughs. It's in a playlist. It's vintage magazines. Vintage, I guess. It's magazines that I grew up with in the 80s and 90s, and I just flipped through them, show you what there is. I have a really large collection. I've just been doing some randomly. I did not get any posted in February, maybe the 1st. Anyway, I have them ready to go. I just don't have them scheduled. So I need to work on that too. I'd rather stitch, Anyway, I wanted to start this one. It is from the CrossStitch Monthly, from the premiere issue from 1988. This was a flip through that I did 2 years ago. It's number 7, Flosstube Extra number 7, and I will link it below. But this is the one I picked that I wanted to start. It's the strawberry sampler. It doesn't say, I don't recall, and I may have noted in the flip through who who the designer was. But if it is not mentioned, then I don't know, obviously. But if it's mentioned, then I'll say it. But I don't know that any of them are in here have been noted. Anyway, that's the one that I started, the strawberry sampler. And I'm doing the whole thing, not the little flowery thing. I'm doing the entire piece. As a change up, I decided to start on the bottom. And the reason why was because my husband and I were talking about how time seems to be flying. And I guess I looked it up. I don't remember what I Googled, but basically it said time flies because we do the same things all the time and nothing changes up your day. So driving a new way would change it up. Going on a vacation and not doing your normal things at home slows, it feels like time is a little slower. Brushing your teeth the other way, putting your shoes on differently, those kind of things. Your mind doesn't do the rote. You have to think about it. So it feels like it's not going as fast. So I thought, well, I will start at the bottom because I am usually a top left starter. So I started at the bottom. It's not very exciting. I did already have to frog, but it's okay. This is good old Ecru 14 count Ada from back in the day. And this is my start. So I have almost the entire, I've got a few stitches on that side to finish crossing. But this is the width of it. I do have hoop marks. I don't iron it till the end. I'm okay with that. I hope you are too. But I have the green behind on my needle behind here. So this is the bottom of the urn? No, it's not an urn really. It's, I guess, would you call that grass? What is this? Right here. That's the bottom of it. So the part that I frogged, I had miscounted 4. I was 1 off. And so it should be 4 here, 5 across. So, but I had 4, so it was 1 stitch over, which means it's just going to mess up. So, and it's small enough. Well, how come I had to miscount? But anyway, that's my start. I got a good bottom start. So that went fast. I'm excited to get back to this. I mean, this was just last week that I started it, so it's fresh on my mind. It's going to be, I don't know, it'll be like right here. I think it's a 9-inch on 14 count. I know that was said. Let's see. 14 count, it ends up being 9 1/4 by 4 1/4. So it'll be good. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I will deal with that later. I'm just excited. So that's where I am. I probably won't put 1780 here. 2026 probably, if I finish it this year. I think it's doable. It's just 5 colors. And it's blocky stitching. So I don't see why not. Anyway, that was my other new start. Let's see. Oh, Karen, the Stitching Owl, is also stitching magazines, a project from a magazine a month on the 26th, so that's fun. One of my regular commenters also is doing that. Pat is also doing that. So it's fun to have, I mean, we get these magazines and we flip through them and we love them and we love stitching maybe one thing when we get it, but then it sits. And there's all these other, I mean, I guess it's just like anything. Whenever you buy a chart, you're excited about stitching it. But if you put it away, it kind of sits. Because you're thinking about it. You're not thinking about it because it's not in front of you. So I'm just trying to bring them to the front. Anyway. Now we're on to the whips. Not in any particular order. I will note when there's an I Spy prompt. This one was an I Spy prompt for February, something with a heart. If you want to do I Spy, go ahead. It's free. It is, I have her linked. I have Laura linked below. It's on her Facebook or Patreon, both free, and also on the community. It used to be community tab. Maybe it's a post now. Anyway, it's on her Flosstube channel also, so go check those out. Free. She just shares them, and it's just wonderful. But it's a variety, and she's done it for a while now, so it's a variety of prompts every month. So stitch one, stitch all, stitch anywhere in between. You just have fun. It's a fun thing. So this one was for the prompt, something with a heart. And this temperature alphabets from Stitchin Mommy, Sarah Stitchin Mommy. I finished January, and I knew February had a heart, but I did not recognize that January did too, so that's fortuitous. So I did actually stitch on the part that a group that had the heart. I have not started February though. So, but I finished January. And did I write down what I'm stitching it on? It's a scrap of something that I dyed. 1/1, I think it's a 28. I really should write that down. 28 count 1/1. And it's really got more green than that. I mean, really, let's see. I can get it to green up for you. No. It does not look greeny. But that's where I have done what I've completed. This was the coldest day. It was 21 was the high. I stitched the highs for the day, but I looked previous just in case the high that I think it is today, which is 80, just in case it's not, maybe it's 81 or 82 recorded high, but this one was recorded as 21 as the high. So I got to stitch the my lowest and lightest purple, the lowest color bracket. Very exciting. And the purples here are, the light purples are the second one. This is 554 and this is 553. Those were for, let's see, they were for 27 to 32. So barely at freezing, just up close to freezing. And I can't remember that color, but it is, I think we were 33 or 35, somewhere around there. But it was cold. That's my progress. I think last time you saw it, I think I had up to the T done. And maybe the W and the X, maybe just the W. Anyway, January's done. It doesn't matter, January's done. So, on to February, which is a lowercase alphabet. Should go faster. Right there. 2 hearts. It'd be quick. I've got all the temperatures recorded. I did that. I've got maybe I don't have the 28th recorded. I think I did that before we left to go to Fort Worth. So next, temperature. Oh yes, something with a heart. The next prompt I will use is something with edges. I'm sorry, not something with edges. That would be, no, it is say sharp edge. Okay, I use that for a different one. Starts with E, and I use the word edge, something with edges. I'm getting confused, but starts with E, the edge. This is Peppermint Purple Sal from this year. I am doing this in blues. I was looking for a pattern that had an E, and I could not find it. I didn't look too terribly hard, but nothing just jumped out at me, so I just picked. So edge starts with E, right? That's okay. This is a 18 count Ada. I'm doing 12 blocks of blue. So originally she has this charted with beautiful colors. It's a rainbow of colors that you can't see on my black and white copy. But I went with blues. So I'm using one strand for the 18/1. January I used 932. Here's my progress. January I used DMC 932. February was 311. And I'm starting March was, I didn't write it down. I may have it in the bag. Please hold. Yes, haha. 3765 is the March color. Make sure I have it the right way. And here's my progress. I am just picking random. Something that'll go nicely with the color next to it, I guess. So, blues. This will be blues. So I have enjoyed this. I found Peppermint Purple from Katie, Jeremiah's mom. Hi, Katie. She's doing Peppermint Purple Sal also. She's using the colors that were chart recommended, which is going to be beautiful. She's already ahead. Well, I guess not ahead. Yes, she's already got the March section done. But this is just fun. I've decided there's two ways to do the black work. One is without the full X and then the block around it to make, the thicker pieces. I don't know what a good way to say that is. Is that right? Some of the darker ones. So it's the X with an outline around it, a box around it. And then the other part is without that. It would just be an X or maybe just the outline. So I've decided to keep the blockier, chunkier part. I guess I got a floss back there. But anyway, that's my progress there. So that is the Peppermint Purple Sal. Well, also last year, whenever Katie was talking about doing the Peppermint Purple Sal, she mentioned this other website. It's called the Steady Thread. They also have a black work Sal. And I don't believe Katie's not doing it this year, but I added it to mine. And I like it. This one's a mystery. This one's a mystery, but you do get the outline. The Steady Thread is not, you don't get the outline. You get, like, you'll see here in a second. You'll get the frame if you want a frame. There are different options for frames and different options for layouts. But the overall, you don't get. So I just printed this off so you can see this is the logo Steady Thread. This is the 2026 Sal, and it's free. Both of them are free, Peppermint Purple and Steady Thread. This is also done on an 18 count white Aida using one strand over one. I am using two colors, and my green is hanging out behind. I'm using, why is it not there? I usually write my flosses, or I usually write my fabric on the back, and I thought I put my floss back there, but I did not. So my flosses are 989, it's a green, and 603. It's pink and green. Oh look, isn't that lovely? That's pretty good. So a green and a pink, and this Sal has several options. You can do like the geometric shapes. You have an option of geometric or floral and leaves or all shapes. Yes, okay. So it's all patterns, florals and patterns, leaves and flowers, or leaves and patterns. So I picked the floral and leaves. This is my progress. So they give you the border. So I know the border, and then off of the border I count for each individual. I was caught up last week, but they have released this one, which looks kind of like that. Or maybe it's a squiggle. It's starting to run together now. Anyway, that's my progress so far. There we go. That's better. can see the pinks and the greens. I've been doing leaves and floral. Eventually I may put a geometric in there. It all goes together. It's a mix and match kind of situation, but so far I like it. I added on, last time you saw it, I had, I think, the outside done of this block, and I finished the interior, started the next one, and moved the leaves down. I haven't done any more on this side, but this is the third one. There's a fourth one, and then we go down. So it's not going to be too much wider. So it's a 12 block, and you can also do 9 or 3, or I think there's a 4, you know, so it's almost a do-it-your-own. What were those books called? A Choose Your Own Adventure? That's what it is. Choose Your Own Adventure, Sal. That's not what she calls it, but I'll call it that. Anyway, it's been fun. It goes by so fast because it's black work. It's just back stitching. So 2 colors. Anyway, very lovely. I've enjoyed that. Put my floss back in so I don't lose that. All right, so did I use those on any prompts? No, but I forgot to mention that, yes, it is, that one is used. So the prompt that I used the steady thread one for is found in a fairy tale. And so I picked that because there's flowers. There was a flower in there, and flowers are found in fairy tales, several of them. I didn't get too creative with that one, but it'll work. A repeated object or motif is also this one because the leaf pattern repeats. Let's see here. All right, moving on. This one, okay, one of the prompts was a small project, and I used this one for a small because it's relatively, I mean, I'm making it big by being on a 14 count, but it's 90 by 90, which I guess I think it's small, but it's Beach Quaker from Georgia Girl Stitching. Last time you saw it, I don't remember. I know I was working on it. It's on a 14 count ice blue from Hobby Lobby. Oh yes, I remember what I was working on. So I was doing fill in. I had all the white done. Here we go. I had all the white and the Quaker parts done, so I was just doing fill in. I think I had most of that done. So I worked on that, and then I got the bottom, this side done. So everything from here over here is done. I just need to fill out this little more than quadrant. So that's my progress there. It'll be hooped. Very excited. After I get this one finished, I'm going to start the lighthouse. Very excited about that. I'm going to put scripture around. I've started, whenever I was working on that other chart, I was charting the scripture to go around here. So that'll be good. And now that I don't know, I may put a hymn verse. There's a hymn that's popping in my head. Sure and steady anchor. Christ the sure and steady anchor. Oh, so good. All right. So that was that, and that was the small project prompt. Now, did I bring it? Yes. Winter. Snow or ice. I use for the prompt snow or ice or an animal. A common pet. I don't think there's a common pet on here. Well, no, owl is not a common pet. So that's not right. But snow or ice. Anyway, snow or ice. This is Crocette Gogo winter sampler. 32 count vintage country mocha 1/1. And I'm up here, right there. I finished my thread. What was on there was the green, here I am. 1/1 makes it tiny. So tiny little owls and tiny little birds. I had green right here. So I finished this and finished out the thread here. And then I started on the fence going across so I can get to the house. The massive house it's going to be. I mean, it won't be. It'll be, you know, that big, but over one, it'll be quite a lot. So snow or ice. There's snowflakes here. Snowman. An owl is not a common pet, I don't believe. So I'm not going to use that there. That's my progress. I mean, this is the pre-printed Vintage Country mocha, so you get the modeling, and there's not any modeling on the back side. But it's really pretty. Now, why is this showing true and the blue wasn't showing true? Anyway, that's my progress. It was good to bring this out. It's been a while since I've brought this out, so it's now in my head for future stitching. And then I have, let's see, got that one, temperature stitch, steady thread, flowers, and fairy tale. This one was for, I think this one was for the Olympic stitching. This is Prairie Schooler. I'm working on the Patriotic Santa right here. It's just scrap of vintage taupe, maybe. I don't know. This is my progress. Last time you saw it, I was working on the coat, and yeah, I think it was just the coat, and the leg was not there. The boot was not there, and the drum starting was not there. The sash here, I accidentally put it in the lighter green, and it should have been this goldy color, but I like it. I'm going to leave it. But that's my progress. I got his boot done, and I got up to his knee and the part of the drum. So I need to do his other boot, and that'll be done. And then finish the drum, and then figure out the flesh color because it's awfully pink. So this right here, that color right there was supposed to be his face, and I don't know about that. That's awfully pinky. So I moved it to the drum. So that's my progress. On the Santa, it is 2002. It's the Prairie Schooler 2002. So it's 85, 2002, and 2014. And this is just a reprint. It's not the original, which my sister would say original. It's not the original. So, all right. And then sharp edges and maroon color. The two last prompts for the I Spy. And a majority of the Olympic stitching was on Plum Street's Heritage Sampler. My goal is to finish this by May, and then do some good work on, I think I still have it here too, pardon? Yes, do some good work on Sweetland from Teresa Kogut. So this one is next in the rotation, if there is a rotation. And I only just have a start. This is my start there. But this is coming out after I get done, because I really want to stitch on this. This will be out after I get done with Heritage, and I really want to get done with Heritage. I have loved it. It is a 40 count country mocha Newcastle linen, and I'm doing 1/2. It is very windy outside. I keep hearing things, but it's just the wind. 40 count, 1/2. There is 1/1. I have not. Oh, I need to move the needle back. There is a 1/1 on the bottom that I'm not getting to on purpose because I'm not ready for it yet. Please wait. Let me stick this needle in the back. Okay. So what did I say, 40 count? Country Mocha. This is, I just modeled on the one side. Here's my progress. And I know the boat wasn't there. I know I worked on the boat. I know I did the rest of the waves, filled in all the waves. They are different than these down here. I know that, and I'm good with that. It's okay. These were here. I think all I did was work on, I did do the fill-in. There were a couple of motifs up here, yes, on this side that I had not done. And I had made a note to go ahead and finish those. So I did that, and then I brought the waves across. Well, I brought the waves across, but there are some oars that come into the waves. So I got the boat worked on so I could do the oars and then finish the waves. And then I'm starting on the fill-in for the boat. I have the legs done of this guy. This guy right here. I have his legs done. I have, yep, that's it. The oars. So that's where I am. Very excited. I love Plum Street. I love their patriotic stitches. I've done a few, and oh, so good. So that's my progress. So the sides are done and the top is done. I still need to go in and backstitch this. It's not charted for backstitch, it's charted for 1/1, but I'm going to backstitch it and then fill in this, and then we're off to the White House, and I guess that's Lincoln with a hat and a beard. Yes. And I still need to go down here and finish and work on the waves and the 1/1 down there. So, 3 months. 3 months. I can do it. I know you're telling me you can do it. I know. Thank you. So, that is all my stitching. This is the first time it's been 37 minutes in a long time. So I completed all the prompts for February, and I was so excited. So March is already out, and I've written those down. Very fun. Springy, a poem, something with a cat or a hat, seeds, stripes, starts with an R, just lots of fun things. And then I'll have the weekly drops of the Peppermint Purple Sal and the Steady Thread Sal. And then I have a new, I guess we're getting into plans. So, plans. I have a new start planned for tomorrow. I'm going to stitch with Melanie. It'll be her birthday. Melanie of Uplift Stitches. It's her birthday, and she chose birds. It's a bird. I can see, Laura, you were saying it's hard to say that. Birthday Sal. Bird. Anyway, birds, stitching birds. So I am going to stitch or start the cardinal from Cottage Garden. Very excited about that. I don't know what fabric I'm going to choose. I have the vintage Country Mocha, so I may do that. But maybe a blue. I don't know. Maybe just the vintage Country Mocha. So I'm going to start that. That'll be fun for her birthday. Happy early birthday. If you're watching this today. If not, then happy birthday. Tomorrow or whenever you watch it. Melanie. Let's see. I have those things, the Blackwork Sals, temperature stitching, and I really want to get that Santa done. I also want to finish the magazine one that I started in January on the 26th, the To Everything There Is a Season. A little small. I want to finish that and get some more done on the strawberry sampler. Not related to cross stitch, things that I have done. I was going to update you on the books and the recipes. So I've been trying, since there's the year of the alphabet, I've been trying to read, I want to read 26 more, but for the first 26, I want to read in accordance, not, let's see if I can put this a good way and be, I don't know, make it make sense. I would like to read something from every letter of the alphabet, whether it's a title or an author, not in order, just check mark the letters off. So that's what I'm working towards. And I finished 2 books. One is The Greatest Generation, and I'm using that as the B because Tom Brokaw wrote that book. He wrote The Greatest Generation. Well, this is a follow-up to that book. The Greatest Generation talks about my grandparents, the ones that were born and were raised in the Dust Bowl, Great Depression, World War II, that era. The book that I read was The Greatest Generation, Letters and Remembrances or something. But it was after he had written that book, many people wrote into him and say, I want to share my experience, or I want to share my brother's experience, or I want to share my dad or my mom. And so it's Letters and Remembrances. And it's easy to read because they're shorter. They're not like chapters long, but one chapter contains maybe 8 or 10 letters or remembrances, memories. So that was really, really neat to read. My grandfathers, neither one of them talked about what their experience was. They just didn't share about it. And a lot of veterans don't, or didn't and still don't. But it was neat to hear. I mean, I know where they served, but I don't know quite a lot about what they did. So it was neat to hear other people's memories. So I used that for B. And the other one, I finished The Thursday Murder Club, which I'm going to use for O because the author is Richard Osman. And it was okay. I rated it a 3 on Goodreads just because there were so many characters. And I really, like, at the end, I was done. I just finished. It was a good story. I probably won't watch the show on it. It might be better than the book. I don't know, but it just wasn't for me at the time because it was just a lot of characters. The story was good. It interested me, whatever that is. But it was a 3. It was okay. The Greatest Generation, I did that a 5 because I just enjoyed it. Some of it was hard, but I enjoyed it. And then the other thing that I wanted to do this year was try 26 new recipes, hopefully more, but I'm shooting for 26. This last month, I made homemade Pop-Tarts, which is not as hard as you think. You can use a pie crust, or you don't have to. You can make your own pie crust, and that's not terrible either. So I did a homemade Pop-Tarts, and then I made a chicken and broccoli casserole, that's not anything special, but it had dill and garlic and onions, so it was kind of ranchy, like a chicken ranch broccoli casserole. No noodles, but I added noodles. You could put rice in it too, but I'll link both of those below if you're interested in that. But they're good. So all of the stuff, all the friends that I've talked about, I'll link below too. And if there's a chart, like Stitchin Mommy and Georgia Girl, I'll link them too. They both have floss tubes. Anyway, go see my floss tube friends that are listed below. Go try those new recipes. I think they're good. My family enjoyed them both, so I think that's good. I'll be keeping them in a rotation. The Pop-Tarts take a little planning, but overall it was good. And also I used jelly in the middle instead of a preserve, and that was probably not the right thing. I would use a preserve. I will use a preserve next time, or a jam, something with the meat and the fruit meat, the chunky parts, because jelly just kind of goos everywhere. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. But they're not making pennies anymore. Anyway, that is all. I'm done. I'm gonna go upload and I guess get supper ready. It was good to visit with y'all. Please share what you're working on. If you have a recipe you want me to try, I would love to try it. I have like a bunch, but it's almost overload with how many I have that I've saved. I just need to, I guess, spin a wheel or something and pick one. But anyway, that's all. I'm going to go now. And I hope y'all have a lovely week. Thank you again for sharing your time with me. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I will be back in about a month.